All right, Shalom. It's the brother Barzal from Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Shai by Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word, sincerity, and the truth. This, like I said to the brother earlier, this is going to be the lesson going into don't allow your job to exhaust your spirit. You know, your work, you know, your 9 to 5, whatever hours that you may put on the clock for the man, don't let it suck the spirit out of you. You know, we all have a job. We all know that, you know, as it is written, if you don't work, you don't eat. You have to provide for yourself. You need your daily bread. That's the essentials to life. You know, we in a particular captivity, we're subject to payments. All these things are without a given, you know. But you don't want to overwhelm yourself and consume your mind with work, to the point where you can't produce in the spirit. You know, you're always mentally pondering on the gaining a dollar. You know, how much more that you can actually add. And as the saying goes, more money, more problems. Because what happens with Jake is Jake will, you know, make a little bit of money. Say, for instance, you're making, just throw a number out there, $30,000 a year, $40,000. You know, now you want to make $60,000. Now you want to, you know, you always want to go up, and then you equate, you know, a lot of money making with hard working. So you have to double up your time. Instead of putting 45, 50 hours a week, now you're trying to push for 65 hours a week. Now you're trying to push for 70 hours a week. And all that time that you're putting towards the workforce is sucking the spirit out of you, and it's making it where putting your essence into reading, studying, purging, keeping your spiritual man maintained is being reduced because you're trying to keep up with the life of the Joneses. You want a better car, you know, you want a bit fatter house, you want to get jewelry, you want to get clothes, cars, you want to look nice and get relevance for the women of the world, and all these different things are just that, the world, and it never will satisfy you. It's a constant carry on the string that you're constantly chasing, and you'll never get to the point where you're appeased. So you have to understand, like, all right, this is my threshold that I'm gonna reach. You know, I'm gonna get to this point. This is the most I'm gonna put out. You know, and I'm gonna provide, make sure that my time is balanced to the point where I can actually put my full essence and put my full spirit in the ministry and fully produce on both ends. You see, it's all about perfect balance and harmony in both of the worlds, so that you can appease, of course, the first and foremost, Yahweh Shemi Shai for doing the work of the Lord, and then you can appease yourself by taking care of yourself, whether you're woman, your kids, so on and so forth. You see, so I'm gonna start with, matter of fact, start with that since I spoken on balance. This is Proverbs 11:1. It says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." Right, so anything that's off balance, when the scales is dramatically tipped, can be very, very detrimental on oneself, you know. And like I said earlier, for that constant work spirit, what happens? You're constantly dehydrated. You always want to sleep. You're malnourished because you can't get a proper meal in. You never can sit down. You have a level of anxiety. You're always anxious to get more money. You know, you get greedy. Because what does it say? Matter of fact, since I'm going into all those, let me get that in Timothy. You know, it's a lot of things that entail money making and hustling. It starts to become what? An addiction. That's one of the heaviest addictions that our people face is the lust for the dollar bill. Now, of course, like I said earlier, you know, you have to provide for yourself. If you got you a little hustle, a little side hustle, do your thing, you know. This isn't a thing where it's, all right, you know, saying don't make money. That's obvious. You gotta handle certain things, but it's always doing things and making sure everything works in harmony. You see? This is 1 Timothy 6, and I'll start at 7. I'll start at 6. 1 Timothy 6:6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. So that's one of the most pivotal things that Paul specified and magnified that a level of godliness, which godliness comes through the virtues of the word, having that with contentment, a level of, in an area of contentment, knowing, okay, I had enough. You know, I made enough for the week. You know, what I'm making for the year, that's good for the year. Let me just balance that. You know, the car that I got, whether it's a 2002, a 2003, a 2005, you know, I'm just gonna balance that. I'm cool with that. I don't have to get a 2018. I don't have to get the newest iPhone. I don't have to try to get in the fattest house and this, that, and the other. Because at the end of the day, it's all vanity. You see, that's why the scripture says what? The fashion of the world passeth away. You try to get you a 2018 car, you have to put down, you have to have interest and all these different things, which is sucking basically your funds away, and you have to double hustle in order to pay that off. And by the time you pay that 2018 car off, it might be 2022, 2023, so that 2018 is old. Now what? You have to update that, and you're constantly trying to stay updated, and when everything that you're trying to update gets outdated, man. So it's nothing but a cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle, and if you don't put yourself at a level where you can say, all right, I'm good with this, I'm content with this, then you'll always be bugging out for another extra penny, so to speak. And you have individuals that actually became rich, some filthy rich, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they'll tell you that you know, money isn't everything, man. You know, they actually reached the apex where, you know, a lot of people would desire to get to, and they'll let you know, like, you know, truthfully speaking, money isn't everything. You know, you had actually Warren Buffett. He spoke on how he was like, you know, really, you know, it's not no big difference between my life and yours. So speaking to the assembly, you know, he was doing a you know, speech on the podium. You know, he was like, man, you know, I might have a couple extra rooms, I might have a couple more cars, this, that, and the other. Now, of course, he's a multi-billionaire. You know, his money spreads pretty far. But at the end of the day, he's really nonchalant, you know? So, of course, like I said earlier, reiterating the point, you have to provide for yourself. Get yourself to a certain point, but always know, okay, that's I'm good right there. You know, I'm straight with this for right now. You see? So continuing on. But they that will be rich fall into temptations and a snare. Right, so if you're always seeking for riches, what does it say that watching for riches driveth away sleep? You know, you go from sleeping 8 hours a day. Now you want to try to sleep 6 hours a day so that you can make, you know, 2 hours extra worth of money. You know, make you an extra $50 a day. You know, extra $300-400 a week. You know, $5,000-10,000 a year. Whoop. Now you're like, oh, 6, but let me try to do 5 hours. You know, sleep. Let me try to just sleep, you know, 4.5. And a lot of times people that try to do that, they try to supplement their sleep with certain stimulants to keep them up. Whether that's where drug addiction comes in, cocaine addiction, all right, over excessive drinking of coffee, cappuccino, to keep your body driven, and you're doing nothing but breaking your body down to the point where you're gonna have to have all kind of medical expenses later on in life for always trying to hustle, man. So all that money that you're looking to make, first off, you're spending it because you're putting that more debts, and then it's gonna be harder to climb out of that physical hole because your body is gonna be all jacked up when you should have been taking care of it constantly. The more that you've been putting all this output, it's input, output, input, output. Jake just want to put out, put out, put out, put out. And they wonder why they're wrecked, man. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Excuse me, I'll read that over. But they that will be rich fall into temptations and a snare. And the temptation, of course, is the dollar bill. I wish I had one in my pocket to present it, you know, because every Jake, you know, speak about Benjamin Franklin, speaking about, you know, them Washingtons, man, you know, them Franks. You know, that's their favorite word, them dead presidents, man. And they'll kill for that money. They'll rob houses for that money. You know, they'll sacrifice their own family members and sacrifice their lives in order to obtain money, all due to the fact of, because with money comes what? Women, comes relevancy, comes status, comes respect, you see? And that all these things drive men into perdition and destruction. So it says, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. You see, so it's you're thinking that you're swimming, but what's happening? You're constantly drowning. You're getting lower and lower and lower to the point where nobody can save you out of that situation. You see, and this is a sink or swim lifestyle, man. You know, you're not gonna have individuals that are gonna go out their way to almost drown themselves to put you out, you know, pull you out of your debts. You gotta remember that this place is predicated and it's built on keeping you financially bugged out, man.
Right.
To keep you always chasing after something. You know, so you have to understand to a certain degree behavioral psychology. You got to understand the sociology and how the powers that be stand on top of you, and they always want you to run after these things that don't even exist. It tells you in Proverbs how money maketh itself wings and it flieth away as a dream. You're trying to stack all this money, it doesn't even matter, man. It's fiat currency. You know, which that's a topic for another time. The money that we have is not even money, man.
Right.
Money is defined in economics as something that's equivalent to silver and gold. This money that we have is not backed by silver and gold. It has been detached from the gold standard, so it's nothing but fiat currency. All right, it's basically credit. And you have Jake that's doing everything in their means to stack this little nothing up. Continuing on. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. See? So that love and that passion to make money is gonna always root you in evil, because what happens? You stop wanting to make money legally. You know, you could balance the legal with the illegal. Maybe you could take your money and flip something. And then most jakes, they'll turn to flipping cocaine, flipping drugs, because that's the quickest scheme and plot in order to make fast money. Fast money is, you know, the faster you make it, the faster the boys come down on you, man. And if you listen to even these top mobsters, mafia guys, you know, they'll say without a shadow of a doubt that they, you know, regret that life. You know, they might have been hustling, making millions of dollars in their glory years. You know, they might have been running up abundance of money for 6-7 years, but they got to spend life in prison.
Right.
You see, you got thrown 70 years, and you only made 7 years worth of money, man. It don't matter how much money you made, your life, your time has to be going away. And now what you're making, 10 cents an hour, working for the man in prison. You eating stale grits. You know, you all sharing cigarettes and you're having homosexual relations with individuals in prison, and it all stems from that addiction, the addiction of money. And it's abundant out here. All right, money is everywhere. You see? So it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some men coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Right, so the more that you had that passion and that lust, you seen that it got you nowhere but into a perpetual depression. You see? Because you're always feeling obligated to make more, get this, get that, flip this, flip that, show yourself off. Because with a lot of money, a lot of people want to what? Flaunt. And that's when you have wolves that start to get attracted in your environment, you see? And you have women with the strong lust to take money from you, because they're not attracted to your soul, they're not attracted to your personality, your good looks. You know, they're attracted to the money that you have, so they'll plot and scheme to rob you, get you shot. You see? Just to take what you actually have in your possession. You see? So that's why the truth is about humility. Living a low-scale lifestyle, all right? Living under the radar, keeping yourself in a position where you can maneuver without everybody actually keeping the eye on you. You have to be like a silent assassin in this truth, man. And always trying to flaunt yourself and being seen, being noticed, and things of that nature, that makes you a target. You don't want to be a target. You want to be the exact opposite. That's why actually even rich Edomites and things of that nature, you see how they dress, you see how they look,
right.
You see how they live, you see what they drive, because they don't want to be a target to the masses of the people. They want to be hit. All right? So it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some men coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of God, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. So those are the main things that a man of the Lord should be coveting after: faith, love, patience, meekness. And if you want to get technical, the richest things on earth are free. Free expenses, which is truly what? The truth. The truth is without charge. It says freely to receive, freely you have freely received, freely give. All right, faith is free. It's a gift from the Heavenly Father. In order to build those things, you have to cultivate, you have to put energy into it and put time in. And what does it say? That these things can never be stolen from you.
Right.
So it's all about laying up the spiritual treasures and always putting your energy into that. That's your job, that's your vocation, that's your occupation, that's your money, that's your life. See, so I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of the great millstone. Shalom.